Trade Deadline Tuesday. Welcome to the Morning Pittsburgh Sports Report on TribLive.com. Guy Junker, Ken Laird. Travis Snider is the first piece to be acquired by Neil Huntington. Well, I guess Wandy Rodriguez was the first, but the first today, late last night to be exact. And Brad Lincoln is the piece that has to be shipped out to get the outfielder in from the Toronto Blue Jays guy. Is it a move for 2012 for both this year and the future? Do you like the trade?
Well, I'm not in love with the deal because I don't think it makes them better today than they were yesterday. But I think it's a very good baseball trade, and I think Neil Huntington's philosophy is, he's going to make a move that improves the Pirates anytime he can, whether it's for today or for the future. This guy's got as much professional experience. People are acting as if this guy, was just hatched yesterday. He's got over 800 major league at bats. He was taken in the first round the same year that Lincoln was. Yep. But he's mostly in AAA this year. Well, so was Marte, and everybody's been screaming for him to come up. Lefty, I like that. Pretty big, has shown some power. 6 foot, 235-pound guy. So for all of that, yes, it's not the name we were kind of hoping for, a splashier name. But if you take a look at his numbers, if you really look at Shane Victorino's numbers for this year, are they that great? So I'm not completely in love with it because I still think it's, for right now, it has the feel of a lateral move for the end of July, beginning of August 2012. But I think long term, it's a good deal. I
think Neil Huntington's, everything he said has led me to think he's kind of shooting for keeping the window open for 2013, 2014, when Garrett Cole was finally here, and they've got Marte in the system for a couple years. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's been a true believer that this team is for real. And when the Reds are rattling off 10 straight wins up until last night without Joey Votto, I mean, I can appreciate why he feels that way. This is not a slam dunk. They're going to win the division looking at the Reds and the Cardinals. Despite how successful the team has been this year, I think you've got to be honest with yourself. And, they were put into a bind by Tabata and Presley not playing up to potential this year. So I think
especially Tabata.
Yeah, I mean, that killed him. So, I mean, he got Brad Lincoln traded in the end.
Well, I don't agree. If that is what Neil Huntington's thinking, I don't agree with it. It's been a long time. I'm not saying sell out at all costs so that you win this year, but you have to be concerned about this year. And even if over the last 2 weeks you've looked at the Reds as a team, they're just better than us. They've won 10 in a row without Votto. I think, 11-3, I think, without him in the lineup, which is very impressive. You're still only 3 games behind them. You only lost 1 game in ground to a team that won 10 games in a row, and the Reds aren't the only way to make the postseason this year. If you're counting on it, it's great, building to the future and trying to make this a championship club year in and year out. But, will there be another end of July in the next 5 years where they're sitting already in a wild card spot with a division lead within their grasp? Whether it's with, no matter how good of a team they build up, what if the Cardinals and if the Cubs ever come around with all the money that they spend, and they're coming around right now a little bit, if they come around for an entire season, you could have a better team in 2 years from now than you do now, with less of a chance of making the postseason than you do right now.
You could. I mean, I don't think he's given up on the season. I think he's tried to make moves to not dramatically change this group while also improving them with more of an eye toward the next couple of years. That's just my read on it.
And look at last week's. The Rodriguez trade was definitely a move made for this year because you traded 3 prospects. Whatever slot you want to put those prospects in, you got a guy who's getting long in the tooth and who's maybe not even as good a pitcher as he was 2 years ago, but you got him for right now for today.
But also for next year. I mean, maybe 2 more years, and you knew Bedard is leaving and Correa was leaving, so it's kind of their acquiring of a pitcher that's going to be in the rotation next year. So I think he's tried to play both ends of it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, he's helping the current team a little bit, giving them a jolt. Nothing dramatic. I fully believe they're going to add
that's the other
somebody
thing.
else.
Let's wait 24 hours. Let's see what's going on by tomorrow morning to fully, they do need left-handed help in the bullpen. Look, Lincoln was a big disappointment this year when he started. If you take a look at these 2 players and forget about all the parameters that are going on right now. 2 guys drafted in the first round in the same year. Which one has more potential? Lincoln's 27 years old. He kind of is what he is. I think he can be a real nice bullpen guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a starter. I don't think he's going to improve. This guy's upside, there's still a lot of it there. He's as old as Marte, basically.
Yep, young outfield. 4 p.m. deadline today for the trade movers, the non-waiver moves to be finished. And Major League Baseball will keep on it. Guy Junker, Ken Laird at TribLive.com.